Healing is one of the most rewarding things to experience in Final Fantasy XIV, but it absolutely comes with its fair share of stress and anxiety. So let's go over some basics to make things just a little bit easier. One of the biggest issues I've seen on newer healers is not readily knowing where their skills are located on their hotbar or HUD. Healing can be a stressful and intense role to fill. There is a lot happening on screen at any given moment. At one point or another, we've all experienced that panicked feeling when a group attack hits everyone, your Dragoon is dead, your tank is poisoned. It's your worst Aurum Vale nightmare. The last thing you need in this moment is to not know where your Medica or Helios is on your hotbar. So, as silly as it may seem, go to a striking dummy. Spend time there developing the muscle memory of where things are. Having to search for the heal you need in the moment has you already playing from behind and is going to lead to frustration and anxiety. Don't be afraid to move skills around and reassign your hotkeys to make things as comfortable as possible. Also consider moving your HUD around to make visibility easier. I actually have a video on this. I'll put the link in the description, or you can click that card at the top of the screen. This may seem reckless, but this truly is one of the best things you can do to help. Healer anxiety is rooted in things being unknown or in being afraid of what may happen. The reality is that you're going to have runs where you wipe. You may as well get it out of the way. The more time you have in dungeons dealing with everything that could possibly go wrong, and it will, the more equipped you are to handle it. One of the greatest tools in your kit is your knowledge of the fight. Knowing how hard mobs hit, what you need to do to mitigate or heal damage, what you can get away with, all of these things are keys to your success. And this doesn't mean you need to run the most difficult content available to you. Spend some time running the first few dungeons like Sastasha, get comfortable there, and then work up to dungeons like Brayflox. Running these dungeons on repeat will help you relax and get you more acquainted with the basics of your skill set. This is especially important for healers that don't start at level 1, think Astro or Sage. There's nothing stopping you from going back to basics and learning how the class operates one skill at a time. Running lower level content can really take the pressure off, as it allows you to focus on a fraction of your skills instead of overwhelming you with everything. Talking about your knowledge of things leads straight into our third tip: healing is not a reactive practice. Believe it or not, all healing, not just barrier healing, should be premeditated. If you are always just reacting to damage, it will always be a stressful experience. Obviously, the first couple times you run something, all you'll be doing is reacting. There's nothing to be done about that. But as you start to learn the layout, as you become more experienced, you'll start to learn when things need to happen. Perhaps all you need here is a single Medica 2 in the party, or another Adlo on the tank. Or maybe it's a hard-hitting mob, and you need to be ready with a couple back-to-back heals. Don't forget Lucid Dreaming, by the way. Whatever the scenario, being able to have it mapped out ahead of time is crucial, even perhaps more so as a healer than a DPS or a tank. Knowing when you need to heal also allows you to know just how much you can do damage. This will seem counterintuitive, but trust me on this. Healing is not about keeping the party as healthy as possible at all times. When I first started healing, my instinct was to immediately and completely heal anyone who took damage using every possible tool that I had. This meant that I wasn't doing any damage and, believe it or not, I was wasting resources. Strange as it seems, it isn't about keeping everyone at full health. As long as the party isn't dying, you're fulfilling your role. The less time you spend trying to top off the party, the more time you can spend doing damage. If the enemy is dead, they can't hurt the party, right? Memes aside, the quicker you can DPS down a mob or boss, the less you'll have to heal. Healing, especially AoE healing, is very expensive. Even if you're using Lucid Dreaming on cooldown, again, you should. If you are constantly spamming Cure 2 or Cure 3 or Benefic 2 or Adlo, you will quickly find yourself out of mana and spawning back at the beginning of the dungeon. You may have, or may yet, come across someone who tells you to just heal. They probably had the best intentions, at least that's what we can hope, but the reality is that is not how the game was designed. In Final Fantasy XIV, healers are given DPS tools for a reason. As you become more and more comfortable in the role, 90% of what you'll be doing is damage, with the other 10% of the time healing only as necessary. This only begins to scratch the surface. Healing has so much nuance to it. As you level further, you'll begin to unlock more OGCD abilities such as Celestial Opposition, Asylum, or Fey Blessing. These abilities can be weaved in between your GCD skills, but more on that in another video. Also, bonus tip, try making your tank your focus target. This will allow you to always have an eye on their health and cooldowns no matter what you have selected. This makes splitting your focus a bit easier and can take some of the pressure off. Happy healing!